Hello, everybody. Welcome to Matteo's Corner. Today we are going to take a look at the first of quite a few Mortal Kombat videos of this particular game. This is Mortal Kombat Armageddon. For those of you who don't know what Mortal Kombat Armageddon is, Mortal Kombat Armageddon is basically the asset dump or the sprite dump or however you want to call it of Mortal Kombat during the PS2 to Xbox and GameCube era, classic Xbox. I'm playing the Wii version of the game because this one just the one that I have, and also it has one extra character that I wanted to talk about right here. So that being said, we're gonna look at the roster. If they're returning characters, I'll talk about just their alternate costume, but if they're a character that hasn't been seen since an older game, I'm going to talk about how their redesign looks and if I think it's decent, just the characters in general. There's a lot of characters here, so we're going to have to kind of do this a little quick so this video isn't too long. So first off, I want to make sure... Okay, good. So we will get to him. Yes, I made Tremor from Mortal Kombat X. He first appeared in Special Forces, and then he supposedly died, but he just came back in MKX, and I have a little story about Tremor that I'll talk about when we get there. But anyway, let's start with the first one. Scorpion. Scorpion, this is... Oh, actually, before I do that...
Scorpion.
We're gonna do this. Wait, really? The computer can't be the character you pick? Okay, we'll have him look at this guy. That's fine. Scorpion. His design in this game is very reminiscent to his Mortal Kombat 3 and Mortal Kombat 4 versions. More specifically, the Mortal Kombat 4. I love the way that his mask has that little skull thing in the front. This is just standard Scorpion-looking attire. I really like it. If I draw a Scorpion, for whatever reason, this is usually the version that I think of, or the one from MK4.
Scorpion.
This is his costume from Deception, and I understand why they went with this one and not the one from Shaolin Monks, because, you know, it looks very similarly to the one that they put as Scorpion's first costume. The only thing I don't like about his Deception outfit is that weird belt thing that's wrapped around his waist. I don't understand its use. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I think if they made it just like... I get what they were going with this costume. They were trying to make him more of a samurai ninja-esque thing. That's why he's got like the shoulder... I actually don't mind the shoulder pads, but I think the spikes on the gloves are kind of weird. And yeah, the weird belt thing doesn't do it for me. Between the two costumes, I would definitely go with this one. Sub-Zero. Your costume is from MK Deadly Alliance, I think. So this is basically like a redesign of Sub-Zero's costume, trying to recreate a classic one. They went with a darker blue instead of a more brighter blue like Sub-Zero was usually known for. I think this one's good. I actually like this costume, and even... You know, he's an older Sub-Zero, and I like the Chiromancer arms and stuff. It's a cool little redesign. I also like how Scorpion and Sub-Zero have almost the same kind of pants in terms of like how they're made. It's kind of funny.
Sub-Zero.
Okay, so this is what we call Shredder Zero. This is his costume from Deception. Again, lots of shoulder pads. I don't know why. I think if they took off the shoulder pads, I think I actually would have liked this costume a lot more, even back then. However, I still like it. It's a very iconic costume. However, I am surprised that they didn't pick his alternate from Mortal Kombat, his first costume from Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, where he looked more like an... I'll throw it up on screen. Where he looked like a very older... Oh, sorry if you see a thing that says disconnect Wii remote. I own the game, but I'm using an emulator to play it so I can record footage. And I'm using a... Yeah, I'm not using a Wii remote, so it just assumed that I wasn't using a Wii remote. I don't know why it does that, but anyway, sorry about that. Anyways, yeah, I'm surprised that they didn't go with the, oops, spoiler there. I'm surprised that, I mean, it's cool that they put this costume in here, and I would think that because this is in the opening cutscene, actually, Scorpion's Deception outfit was also in the opening cutscene. It's interesting that they put these as the first costumes. And most of the MK ninjas are also in the first row where they're easily able to be seen, which is very interesting. Also, I don't understand the different colors. Like, all these people have a green background, all these people have a blue background, all these people have a purple background, these people have a red background, and I'm assuming that's because these are like the villain characters technically. Anyway, I guess that's just a nitpick. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't use his Deadly Alliance outfit where he was more like the MK3 version of Sub-Zero, where he was maskless and he had the suspender looking things. And I think if they did something like that, it would have been a really cool little version. This should have been his first costume, but I understand why they went with this because it looks like classic Sub-Zero, so I get it. Oh, which one would I pick? Both of them. I like both of them. They're good. Okay, so I actually really like this redesign for Reptile. I don't know why they gave him the Ermac bandages thing. Like, if you look here, it's kind of similar to Ermac. I guess it was to hide the fact that he's a reptilian dude, but the rest of his body has scales and stuff, so I don't know why they did that. But I like it. And funny enough, this is the only costume, I think, from Shaolin Monks, in terms of a redesign, that they put into this game. And I don't know why they didn't do it for more characters. Like, I know Sub-Zero has an alternate, but, like, I would have expected Scorpion and Sub-Zero and Reptile and Melina and Katana and Jade and a lot of these other characters to have their Shaolin Monks variants. And I might bring it up when I talk about them and show what they look like in the game. Like screen, I'll get pictures of them or whatever. But anyway, yeah, I think as a redesign though, it's good. I think if anything, they should have made the scaled wrap more of a brighter green or make it a darker green so it stands out more against his body.
Reptile.
I like the costume. I don't like how he's a full-on lizard. I get what they were going for, but I really don't. I really don't like it. I do not like this costume because he's a full lizard. I mean, again, I get what they were going for because this is when he was starting to metamorphosis into the new Dragon King, because he's basically a host for the Dragon King, I think. Like, he finds a dragon egg and then it, like, goes into his body and he becomes Onaga. I think that's how it goes. I don't remember. Honestly, I don't know. Mortal Kombat is so weird. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's kind of like... It's just kind of weird looking, too. Like, I don't like this outfit. I think if they were going to go for another outfit, they should have went the route, like, with Scorpion and Sub-Zero and go for a more traditional, like, make him look more like the MK1 version of Reptile, or MK2 even, where he didn't have the scaled stuff.
Reptile.
Or even, like, give him this same outfit but make him look more human, and give him, or you know what, give him the costume from the Mortal Kombat movie where he had the mask with the open mouth on it and stuff. But it looked amazing. Rain. Okay, so I have to talk about Rain. Because technically he's considered a new character because this was the first time you saw him in 3D, I think. Before MKX had Rain, Armageddon was the first to bring him back. And this is when they were trying to make him more like a prince, like a princely kind of guy. I like this costume a little bit more. Okay, this costume's cool because it's like reminiscent of like MK Ninja, right? But I really do like this costume though. I know people don't like the little sash cape that he has, but I think it just adds more of a uniqueness to his character. And honestly, it's one of the better looking redesigns that will, as you'll see, it's one of the better redesigns. As for which costume I would pick, yeah, I like both of them. So it's like Sub-Zero. I like both costumes. Doesn't really matter. Another one that this is from he originally was in the older games, then he came back in Deception. This is his Deception. I think both of his costumes are actually Deception based. Yeah, these are both Deception based. I find it weird though that like both of these have that weird shoulder pad sorcerer thing. And I think this is fine, right? Like this is actually a good. Let's see, wait a minute. You know what? I kind of like this costume more. If they made this look like classic ninja, like give him the red mask, kind of like Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and give him like, you know, just make this look. Because I like this design. I don't like the head. The head is what's throwing me off. But if they made it more like this, in terms of the head, give him a different looking mask, or even just, I don't know. I think it would look good. But I like both costumes. If anything, though, I'm probably going to pick this one, to be honest. I don't know why. I think this one looks cool. Actually, this one does look really cool, though. I don't know. Yes. Chameleon. Okay, so you're probably wondering who this dude is. He has no alternate costume, because technically his alternate costume's down here. So this is Chameleon. I think he started out as a glitch or a rumor or something. He basically copies other characters' moves. I think he's a cool looking. I think he's a cool idea for a character, though. It's just that I don't know why there's two of him. Like there's one that's male and one that's female, and I don't understand why they're two different characters. They should have just made this one an alternate costume for this one, and given it a different set of voice. Like give it a voice that could fit both genders and make its attacks like a combination of both. Like I get it. This one's mimicking the male ninjas. This one's mimicking the female ninjas and female characters in general. But again, I think it just would have looked a lot better if they did that. As a character, though, I think Chameleon's an interesting idea. There's always been characters in the older games that like took attacks from other people and didn't have their own moveset, so it makes sense. Noob Saibot. You know, you want to know what's funny about Noob Saibot's costume? Check this out. It's exactly the same costume, just a different texture. Like, look, if I put them side by side, look at this. Like, you can kind of tell it's the same costume. I don't know why they did that. To me, I feel like that's incredibly lazy of them. I just feel like it's lazy. I actually like this version. Okay, you know what? I like this version of him looking more human, but I wish that they gave him like more gray skin. Kind of like this guy. Kind of like Shinnok. Give him skin color like that. For Noob, I don't know why they gave him the peach skin, like he's alive. And then, but I do think that would have made the costumes a lot better. I also think that if you're gonna make a costume that's basically just a palette swap, do it for every character, because this guy doesn't have an alternate. Actually, can two people play as Chameleon? Oh, I guess so, because they change colors. Yeah, okay, I guess that makes sense. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I feel like this one works. But I think for the alternate, they should have done something reminiscent of more MK123 and done it for this costume, since he's pure black. You wouldn't, you know, it would look fine. Or they could have literally even taken like this costume for Scorpion, change the mask to look like Sub-Zero's a little bit, or do something. Yeah, they could have just did that. Absolutely hate Smoke's normal costume. I like the legs. I like the costume. I don't like how Smoke is a living being of smoke. I think it looks odd. It looks very strange to me that they would do that. I understand that he's still a cyborg ninja, but I think everybody at this time really wanted a actual like ninja of Smoke, like from MK2 and everything. If they made him... Okay, here's what I think. If they gave Smoke this kind of costume, like in terms of like the peach skin, the mask, they could have kept the face, the weird robot mask. They could have kept that the same, but then make his body a actual being, and then make his clothing gray, like a bright gray, kind of like how they did a bright yellow for Scorpion. Do a bright gray or a white for Smoke. This costume I prefer a lot better. This is a redesign of Cyborg Smoke from Deception. I think it looks fine. It makes him look different than the other Cyborg ninjas, and that's why they did that. I also like how he has the Foot Clan symbol from the 2003 TMNT cartoon on his chest. So, Smoke Foot Clan confirmed? I don't know. But I definitely play as this costume when I play as Smoke. I do not pick this one. I think this one looks weird. It's cool that they made him like this being that can manifest himself, even though he's pure smoke, but yeah. Cyrax. Okay, Cyrax, I like his redesign. This is still reminiscent of the original MK Ninja, Cyber Ninja from the original games. Looks good. I like it. It's actually a very decent... I think he first came back in Deadly Alliance in 3D, I think.
Cyrax.
And this is the same costume. You know, I really don't like this one. I like the body, but the weird shoulder... Again, I don't know what it was with fighting games added giving shoulder pads to people. They don't look good, you guys. They just don't look good on some characters. And Cyrax's doesn't make a lot of sense. And honestly, I kind of wish that they didn't do this. They could have also just taken that weird helmet thing off and made him bald. I mean, that would have worked. You know, just... Actually, you know what? If they took off the helmet thing and if they kept the shoulder pads and they took off the head thing, I think I would have liked it a lot more. Or kept the head thing but take off the shoulder pads. It's one or the other for me, or both. Sector. The current Sub-Zero's arch rival. Not a lot of people know this. He's the son of the original Lin Kuei Grandmaster before he himself assassinated. I think this is correct. I think what happened is he wanted the Lin Kuei to be more like to be better. So he initiated the Cyber Initiative by killing his dad and taking over, and he made everybody into robots. And now they're the Takunin ninjas. And yeah, I like this redesign for I like how Cyrax is built a lot more human-like, and then Sector is more like Fulgor from Killer Instinct. I love that. That's such a cool way to differentiate the characters.
Sector.
You know what's funny about this costume? This costume actually makes me think of Mortal Kombat X and even Mortal Kombat 9 version of Sector. I like everything except for the face. I think if they took the face and they changed it a little bit so it doesn't look as weird, I think you know what it is? If they took the eyes are fine. If they took the bottom part and they made it into like a Terminator like skull that was gray or even red, this would have looked a whole lot better. But I still like both costumes. Oh, Striker. So this is a Striker. He's a character from Mortal Kombat 3. Never came back in any games until this one. His redesign is surprisingly very simple. It's black with some blue lines in it. Kind of looks like a King of Fighters character, to be honest, if you take the knives off. But I think it looks fine. I actually think, sometimes simple is better. And for what they were trying to do with this, I don't get why he has the giant knives, though. I do think that's kind of odd, because he's supposed to be like a cop, like a SWAT team cop or whatever, so.
Striker.
Alright, this is more reminiscent of his original outfit. except for the face. The face, for some reason, has this weird mask on. I think if they took the mask off and they put the backwards black hat that he had in the original games, this would have been a great redesign of the original outfit, and it would have looked 100 times better. And honestly, I would use this costume more than the main costume if that was what they did. Or better yet, just swap it. Just like take this head.
Striker.
Well, no, because if you have the hat, you would still see his face. So I think that's the thing, is that I get why they gave him the mask, but it doesn't make sense when you're trying to redesign the original costume, but then you just don't go the full way. So, anyway. Cabal. Cabal's look from Deception looks good. I like the coat. I know a lot of people might not like the coat, but I do like the coat. He looks good. I mean, there's not much you could really, like, comparing to the original Cabal, he's a lot more, I don't know, it just looks fine.
Cabal.
Alright, this is Cabal's alternate costume. Very reminiscent of Mortal Kombat 1, the original games. I don't know why he's got those weird, wait, does he always have pigtails? Oh, maybe he does. Okay, never mind. I like the costume. It's reminiscent of the original game. I also like how they changed the look of the mask just a tiny bit to make it look different. And yeah, I think it's a decent costume. It's a good little, I think, I want to say it's a redesign of the original costume, but I could be wrong. I have problems with Dairu design-wise. I honestly think that his alternate costume looks so much better than his main costume. I don't know why, but this costume reminds me of that guy from Tekken. I think it's Fei Long. No, Fei Long's from Street Fighter. What am I talking about? There's a guy from Tekken that this guy looks a lot like, and this costume just works better for me. This costume I feel is too busy. I feel like there's that, the weird tassels on the sleeves aren't my problem. My actual main problem with this costume is the shoulder pads. I think if they took the shoulder pads off, you would have had two very distinct designs that were totally different from each other. And I don't remember how Dairu is as a character, so that doesn't help either. Oh, I also like how Cabal's hair merges with Dairu's hair. It's like they're one being tied by hair, like a Siamese twin thing. It's kind of funny. Jarek. The creator of so many Mortal Kombat memes because of Mortal Kombat 4. Mr. Husodai when he falls off a cliff. So yeah, Jarek first came from Mortal Kombat 4. His redesign is fine. They gave him more armor, which kind of makes sense. For this game at least, it's fine.
Jarek.
Absolutely hate this costume. It's way too busy. They're trying to take the whole dragon thing a little too seriously with this one. They should have just stuck with the Mortal Kombat 4 classic outfit where he just had like the leather jacket. Actually, wait a minute. Basically like with this, except instead of a full-on coat, it's like a little, like, well, I'll show it on screen, but basically they should have went with the Mortal Kombat 4 design for Jarek for his alternate. Even like maybe change his hairstyle, make the goatee, maybe get rid of the goatee, you know, make him look totally different than this one. But yeah, I despise this alternate. This one is, I think, just like for other costumes, I get what they were trying to go for. But this one it just does not make any sense to me. Like it seems like they didn't really care about this one. This is Darius. Darius is from Deception as well. He's, I think, from Order Realm. And he's what is he? Okay, I forgot to mention. Dairu, I think, is also from he's like, I don't remember his backstory, actually. Dairu, to me, was the most forgettable character, for me at least. Because I don't remember anything about him. Maybe I just don't remember him. Darius I remember because he's a guy who is going against Order Realms, you know, like perfect order thing, and he's a revolutionary. And I really like his design, actually. I like the black and orange. he just looks like a cool character. I don't know.
Darius.
Very 2000s. Also, this is one of the best alternate costumes in the game. I'm pretty sure this is a reference to some old kung fu action movie, or multiple genres, but I love this costume. I think as an alternate, this one works really well. Okay, so I'm gonna show you Reiko's alternate first.
Reiko.
Because Reiko, this guy, originally came from Mortal Kombat 4. So a lot of people came from Mortal Kombat 4, actually. Reiko, I think he was the general to Shao Kahn, I think, or he was like his advisor or something like that. And Reiko, I think it was the general. And Reiko was like, his moveset was like your stereotypical ninja. He had like ninja stars and things like that. He was like but the thing with Reiko was that he also wants to be Shao Kahn. Like his ending, everyone freaked out when his ending. I freaked out even when his ending first came out, because he puts on Shao Kahn's helmet. What's right here? He puts on the helmet, and everyone thought that he was actually Shao Kahn, like a depowered Shao Kahn, or maybe he was like going to be the new Kahn, right? But then it just turned out that he was just a guy that wanted to be like Shao Kahn. And surprisingly, Reiko, similarly to like Jarek and some of these other characters, they never came back until this game, which doesn't make a lot of sense, because you could have done a lot with Reiko. Like, Reiko could have been the villain for the new game or whatever. But yeah, this is his alternate costume where he's more like Shao Kahn-esque. Like, this is how I would see if he was like, just give him the helmet that Shao Kahn has, and you could totally see him being like a younger Shao Kahn. Heck, that's what they could have done. They could have even called it a younger Shao Kahn, that, like, through time manipulation or whatever. But anyway, looks good. I like both costumes.
Cool.
This one, though, has a special place in my heart because, you know, I grew up with Mortal Kombat 4. 4 was the first MK game I ever actually owned. I played the first one with my dad. I rented Trilogy and Special Forces. I owned Mythologies and beat it. That was a thing. But yeah, I like this costume more. And here we have another Mortal Kombat 4 character. Fujin, the God of Wind, Raiden's brother, technically, I think. I like his redesign. It looks good. I don't think this is similar to the original one. I think the original one looked a little bit different. I'll put it on screen anyway, because I honestly don't remember. I'll put it in post. But yeah, I do like this costume. Looks good.
Fujin.
Do not like this costume, though. I think if they took the cape out, I would have liked this costume a lot more. I think the cape in this costume,
Fujin.
yeah, like comparing the two, if you take the, like, I'm going to cover the cape with my hand while I'm recording this on the screen. If I take the cape out, yeah, it does look a lot better as an alternate for Fujin, but then he just looks kind of generic at the same time, so I don't know. Boraicho came from Deadly Alliance,
Boraicho.
which was MK5. He's both of his costumes are just very meh. I don't know which one I like more. I think this one looks a little busy. I like this one because it looks more like traditional, like, oh, he has like the fur, like he's on a long journey.
Boraicho.
But this one looks like he just woke up in the day and put his clothes on, which is fine. It's totally fine for the character. Not a big fan of Boraicho. He has his fans. I liked him in MKX though. Yeah, it's kind of meh. This is Malvado. Malvado first appeared in Deadly Alliance, which was 5. I like this design. The Red Dragon is supposed to be the crime syndicate that's rivals with the Black Dragon, which is led by this guy, Kano. So I like how they are different in terms of flair. Like, the Black Dragon's like more gritty and more like, you know, grungy, where the Red Dragon looks more like they have style. They have a sense of like pride, not pride, like they have like they just have a style to them. They're like the preppy mafia people. Yeah, I do like this outfit. I think it gives him a lot of personality. This one I think is cool if you took off the sword. Take the sword off and it looks 100 times better. Hotaru. Hotaru is from Deception. He's I don't know if he's the Lord of Order Realm, but he's like this high-ranking officer, I think, in it. My only problem with this costume,
Hotaru.
They pulled a Noob Saibot, where it's basically the exact same costume, just with certain tweaks. I think if they took the helmet from this costume and put it on this one, it would have looked really cool. And then the faceless one that we see here, completely redesign his alternate. Because again, this is just lazy. Like, it doesn't look like the same character. Or sorry, it looks just like a palette swap, but they added a helmet to it. And that irks me. I understand that they had to cut corners for this fighting game because they put a whole bunch into it, but actually I'm gonna start this way. Cobra. I think this was Deadly Alliance. Very forgettable character. Just looks like your generic martial arts guy. I get what they were trying to do, though, that they were trying to mimic like Ryu and Ken from Street Fighter, or people from SNK's King of Fighters or whatever. But yeah, I think this costume's just, it's fine. It's like, compared to a lot of the other characters, you just forget he exists.
Cobra.
This costume, though, looks a lot better. I think this costume's way better than the other one. This is what I would imagine him being a part of the new Black Dragon that he would wear normally. Yeah, I like this costume more. Suhao, also very forgettable. He was supposed to be the Zangief. He was also in Deadly Alliance. He was supposed to be the Zangief of Mortal Kombat's universe in terms of grapples and everything. I think his first design is interesting. I think if they took the hat off, the hat really helps the costume, although it's just very average.
Suhao.
I actually like this costume a little bit more. But again, he's just, no matter what costume you put on Suhao, he's just super generic. I think his alternate should have been, instead of him without a hat and some different colored pants, I think this looks very military, so that makes sense. But for this one, they should have made it like a wrestler or a luchador kind of thing. That would make way more sense for his kind of character. Very, very forgettable, though, just like Cobra. Shujinko. He was the main character of the story mode for Deception, and then you could unlock him to play. I think Shujinko's cool. I like the idea that he looks like the old wise mentor kind of thing. It's a good design, actually, for Mortal Kombat.
Shujinko.
Although this one, oof. You know what? Actually, if they took the weird bib that he's wearing off, I think the costume would look a lot better. Instead of putting that bib thing, maybe make it where instead of just the normal like black belt sash thing, give him something
Shujinko.
that's more like a wrap that goes from like his waist up to like his chest, so the red part doesn't spill out. This just looks like he woke up and like didn't really realize what clothes he was wearing. I don't know. That's just what it looks like to me. I think if you take off the bib and you put a sash thing there, instead of that normal traditional black belt, and you put the red quilted thing on the inside of the sash so it doesn't spill out, I think it would have looked a lot better. Kenshi. First appeared in Deadly Alliance. Really like his redesign in Deception. Very futuristic samurai kind of look. Looks really cool.
Kenshi.
His Deadly Alliance outfit, though, has not aged well. I mean, it's nice that they made a reference to the original costume, but I definitely liked the Deception one more. I think if they went and tweaked it a little bit, I think it would have looked a lot better. But, it's fine. Alright, so Kai is also another Mortal Kombat. I think he's the last Mortal Kombat 4 rep other than Shinnok. Yeah, I think other than Shinnok, he's the last of the Mortal Kombat 4 representatives who never really made it back into a game. Like, Shinnok made sense because he was a boss character. But Kai, yeah, for some reason, Kai, he just kind of never came back. He was a Shaolin monk similar to Liu Kang. And this was his original design. Let's take a look at that. Very generic. He actually looks really cool design-wise. I don't know if he always had the spiked hand things, though. But even then, he looks like a cool character, you know? Then you get this one, which was the redesign. He basically went through the Jarek motif, where they just put a bunch of armor on him. But this one, unlike Jarek, is very simple, and I appreciate that. Although I wish that this was his main costume, because this one just has more personality to me. You can see more of the white stripe markings on his body, and I get that he's supposed to be older and they put that beard on him, but I kind of wish that this was where the beard was on, and then this one was more clean shaven like the original look. But otherwise, it looks great. Here we have Jax. His redesign looks fine. Looks more Green Beret-ish. Very commando. Makes sense for this point in time of Mortal Kombat.
Jax.
Do not like his alternate. Instead of making the costume yellow, you made it purple. Because Jax originally was known to be red and purple in terms of costumes, and purple has been his like color, I think, even in Mortal Kombat 4 and a bunch of other games. So if they made it more of a bright purple, or even like a red, no, I guess the red wouldn't have worked. The purple would have made more sense. And then instead of the bald head, since we already have the bald head here, right?
Jax.
For this costume, they should have given him the face that he has in like MK4 and the older games, where he has like the flat top hair, the goatee. I think that would have made this costume look so much better. The hat could have been give or take. It really just depends on your personal preference. But definitely get rid of the gold chain. Gold chain just looks weird. Like it just stands out. It just looks weird. Kano, leader of the Black Dragon, MK1. Actually,
Kano.
this is his alternate. I love his alternate. It's a version of MK1 Kano, and it actually looks really good as a redesign. Looks great. Love it. Love that costume. This costume came from Deadly Alliance. I think it looks good. This is when they fully embraced the Australian side of Kano, and they tried to make him look more like the rough, rugged, Aussie mercenary that he is in the games nowadays. Like even in MKX, or no, not MKX, even in MK11, like he has like the whole shirtless thing going on and the hair on the chest, and you know. Yeah, I like both costumes, but I do have a soft spot for this one because it was his design from MK1. I do wish though that they made him bald, just like how he was in the first game, but that's just a nitpick. Johnny Cage. Deadly Alliance redesign from his MK2 and 3 outfit. I think MK2 outfit. This is also when they made Johnny Cage blonde, which never really. Oh, also MK4 had this costume. I forgot that he came back in MK4. I like the feet wraps and the hand wraps. The thing that kills it for me though is the lion or whatever it is on his belt buckle. I think that could have just been like a Johnny, like a J and a C, or like something, or maybe I don't know, just a normal belt buckle. It looks kind of weird up front, but everything else looks okay.
Johnny Cage.
This is the James Bond movie premiere, going to a movie premiere, Johnny Cage. Looks fine. I have no real more words for it. Okay. So this is Mocap. He is a character from Deadly Alliance who is the joke character of the game. Basically, he's a reference to motion capture. And motion capture is when someone wears a suit like this and they do motions for characters and stuff,
Mocap.
and then it captures the image on those little ping pong ball cameras, and that's how you're able to do stuff for characters. It would have been really cool if Mocap's alternate was just a wireframe, because Mocap has no alternate; he's just here, and which is kind of a bummer. Same with even Chameleon was that way, where there's just no alternate for the character. It makes me kind of sad. But yeah, I think Mocap as a character he's a joke character, so I get why he's here. But technically, they didn't have to add him for this game. I know he has fans, and I know that this was supposed to be taking everything from other Mortal Kombat games, but honestly, it's kind of an odd choice. Nightwolf, classic games. Nightwolf redesigned from Deception. Looks good. Looks fine. Again, some of these costumes I have not a lot to say about them. So,
Nightwolf.
His alternate costume, same thing. It's fine. Looks good. Waste of a character slot. Honestly, again, what they should have done is make Chameleon female, the alternate for Chameleon male, keep the K, and just I don't know. I like that they made a female Chameleon, but again, they could have just made it an alternate for male Chameleon, and she is the exclusive character for the Wii. So there's no actual exclusive character for the Wii. It's just basically a clone character. And honestly, they could have put a lot of characters into this slot. So, the brothers join on the fighter select screen. This is Taven. Taven is the main character of the story mode of Armageddon. I like his design. Looks pretty good.
Taven.
His alternate does look really cool as well, where he has the Elder God's armor or whatever that is. Looks good. It's fine. I'm completely okay with this character. He kind of reminds me of Rain too, where they're both royalties. They have these incredibly interesting looking designs, because I think he's a Denian also. Zombie Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat Deception. Because Shang Tsung and Quan Chi killed Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat 5 Deadly Alliance. And he came back as similarly to Scorpion as a revenant spirit out for revenge. I never understood why they did Zombie Liu Kang when Johnny Cage came back normally in MK4. They could have just brought him back in Deception using magic or even Armageddon. It's fine. He's a zombie.
Liu Kang.
Liu Kang's alternate is his normal outfit. Looks fine. Nothing to say about it. It looks fine. Although I am surprised that they didn't use the costume from MK Shaolin Monks, which was a redesign of the MK1 costume. Same thing with, was there another character up here that was from MK Shaolin Monks that had a redesign? No, I think it was just him. So far. Excuse me. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's go back to Dagon so that it doesn't mess with people's heads with the changing of colors. This is Kung Lao's design from MK Deadly Alliance. I like this outfit. It's very It's very... it works for the character, except the weird red sash things on the belt kind of throw me off a little bit, but it's fine.
Lao.
I get what they were going for this outfit, but I don't like it. I think they should have put the Mortal Kombat... I think it's Mortal Kombat 3, where he had the yellow suspender thing. I honestly think bringing back a lot more of the classic costumes would have made a lot more people happy. Because then it wouldn't have felt like a total asset dump of just every single thing that they did in previous games. So yeah, I prefer the first one more than this one. I'm also surprised they didn't use his Shaolin Monk's outfit, which was reminiscent of MK2. Or maybe 2 had the yellow suspenders thing. I don't remember. Anyway. Shang Tsung, his design from Deadly Alliance, looks good. The red and yellow make him look very regal. Very sorcerer-esque.
Shang Tsung.
I get what they were going for with this costume, but honestly, it makes me feel odd that they didn't give him classic Shang Tsung, like old man, purple robe Shang Tsung, or even like Shang Tsung from MK2 and 3 with the yellow and black. I think it would have made both costumes stand out a lot more if they did that. Especially because they hinted at old man Shang Tsung in the opening of the movie when he's trying to reach for Blaze and it sucks away his youth. I think that would have been a really cool little thing to put in. Quan Chi, the Deadly Alliance variant. For some reason, he has a cut on his cheek, and Shang Tsung is all beat up. I don't know why that's a thing. Quan Chi's fine. He looks just very generic. I do like he just looks generic for a sorcerer that's like a necromancer, but it's fine. It works. It's part of his charm.
Quan Chi.
This one, though, oof, this one did not age well. This is supposed to be his Mortal Kombat 4 outfit, and for some reason they decided that a brighter blue would work better with the black than a darker blue. I think if they made this a darker blue and they made it a little different here and there, maybe add some other stuff to it, it would have looked a lot better. Shinnok, this is Shinnok from MK4. Oh, Quan Chi also appeared in MK4, by the way. Actually, technically, he was also in Mythologies, but, you know. Shinnok, the big boss from MK4, the Fallen Elder God, looks fine. I wish that his clothes were a little bit darker in color so that you could see his skin and didn't clash with it, but meh.
Shinnok.
This one looks really cool, though. It's very, like, regal, I think this one was in the opening movie, too. Very regal-looking Shinnok. I don't get... And then, like, his shirt and his horns have the same color, so it implies that he's wearing, like, the same thing, or that's what his armor looks like, or whatever. It doesn't matter. It looks cool. I like how they gave him the more sorcerer-esque appearance. Evil Raiden from Deception. Yeah, that makes sense because of the timeline. This is what he looks like. Dark evil elder god, or fallen demigod. I don't know what he was in the original timeline. Looks good. Made sense. Do not like this costume at all. I think this fits more with Fujin than Raiden. Honestly, I think if they wanted to give Raiden an alternate costume, they should have given him a costume that was reminiscent to like MK1 or even MK2 and 3 where he had the blue sash. I think it was also in MK4. That I think would have looked a lot better than this weird, or even like the Raiden that we got from I'm surprised we didn't get the Raiden from Deadly Alliance either. Because that was also like one where he had longer hair, but he also had like a bit of blue in the design. It looked really good. But I think this just doesn't work. I don't get what they were trying to say with this costume. It's kind of like Jarek's. I don't get what they were going for in that design. Alright, so this guy also doesn't have an alternate costume, which is kind of odd. But you can still play as Dagon twice, which makes no sense. This is Dagon. He's Taven's brother. He's also, I think, the leader of the Red Dragon, I think. And I like how he looks like Taven a little bit, but he's more like grizzled and very like military, like Shao Kahn-esque. I like it. Looks good. And as a new character, he's cool. So, all right. So this is the create your own character slot, and the create a character slot is basically where you can make your own character. You can make the name, the special moves, the I should really just keep.
Excellent.
Here, I'll do that so he just stays on screen. So my character creator was Tremor. And the reason why I put Tremor in the game is he should have been in this game midway, who is now NetherRealm Studios. You had no reason to not put him in. You brought Rain back. You brought Jarek back. You even brought Kai back. You even brought in Meat. And you messed up Mattao. Why couldn't you just get Tremor back in the game and make him a new costume and then redesign. Oh, they also brought back Serena, who I'll get to soon. So yeah, they had no excuse for not putting Tremor in the game. They had absolutely no excuse to not put the Earth Geokinesis Ninja in here. Also, funny story. Remember where I said I had beef with Rain? So Rain originally was supposed to be Tremor in MK Trilogy. They had his moveset figured out. They were going to put him in the game, and then at the last minute, they pulled Tremor out of the game, and they replaced him with this purple ninja named Rain, and nobody knows why. And then even the instruction booklet has his name say Tremor. So I don't understand why they didn't put him in the game. It really makes no sense. Trilogy and now Armageddon, he was scorned. But I am glad that they brought Tremor back into MKX. But the idea, anyway, back to the create a character thing. The idea that you can create your own character and put them in this game is a really neat idea. I think it's awesome. And I hope they bring this back in the future in some way, but also make it where you can even choose a fatality that you want, or there's preset fatalities or whatever. Doesn't matter. The point is, I think this was a really neat idea that they tried. Lee May. She came from Deception. Oh, I forgot to mention, Tremor came from MK Special Forces, which is a game nobody talks about. So maybe that's why he wasn't in the game. This is Lee May. Lee May is, she, in Deadly Alliance, was just this very generic Asian girl that did Kung Fu. And I'm glad that in Deception, they really changed her outfit, and they gave her more of a personality. Especially this costume, like, gosh, that's such a cool costume. She was on the good people's team in Deadly Alliance, and then during Deception, she decided to betray everybody and marry the Dragon King. So, yeah, there you go. I'm glad she's in the game, though. She's cool. Ashra from Deadly Alliance. She was a demon hunter that was sent to go get these two, Draman and Moloch. And I like her design, actually. I think her design's very interesting. It looks really cool. She also used, like, voodoo and stuff. So, I has nothing to do with the character. I just thought that looked cool. I like her little arm bracelets or snakes.
Ashra.
You know, I really do like this costume. I like how they made her without the hat, and it's a more like monk. This looks more like a monk, like from Order Realm or something, right? Like, it just looks really cool. I like both their costumes. I think Ashra's a cool character in general. All right, now we're getting into some interesting territory here because we've got alternate costumes for the female ninjas, and some of the characters in this game have very weird designs. And yeah, Jade's redesign looks fine. I think it looks okay.
Jade.
I do really like this costume, though. I don't know why. I just like this one a lot more. But I think if you took the hair, the face and the hair from this costume and you put it on this costume, and then you put this one
Jade.
and you put it on this one, or maybe just the hair, I don't know. I like both, but there are little things nitpicky wise that I would like to see more. It looks fine. Okay, everybody, prepare yourselves. There's a reason why this game is rated M for more than just the blood and gore. I'm gonna get to that in a quick sec, though. This is Melina's costume from Deception. Oh yeah, by the way, this was also from Deception, or a redesign. Redesign of Melina for Deception looks good, very regal looking. Although I don't get why she isn't wearing, like, I guess she's supposed to be like the anti-katana, so she's gonna look a lot different, and that's why they did it. Okay, everybody, prepare yourselves.
Melina.
Yeah, this is her alternate. I like the shoes. I like the mask. I even like the really long hair. I don't know what they were... definitely going for the sex appeal. for Melina. I think Melina, when Deception came out, she was even in Playboy with that costume. Or it was like part of her costume was missing and she was covering her chest with her sai. Something like that was going on. I can't show that picture though in the video, so sorry guys. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't go with like a Mortal Kombat 2 or even her Mortal Kombat 4 variant for Melina. It doesn't make a lot of sense why they went with the skimpy. I mean, I get why they went with the skimpy outfit. This is a rated M game, guys. We know why they went with with that outfit. But in terms of like, if this is supposed to be like a heralding, like, oh yeah, here's every character from MK besides Tremor, because of course we can't all get what we want. I think that Melina's costume should have been one from like MK4, MK2. I think that would have made a lot more, and again, it would have made the costumes more catering towards people who wanted the game only because a certain character was in it, and it, you know, nostalgia sells. Katana. This is Katana's redesign from Deadly Alliance. I don't get why they went with purple instead of blue. Her whole thing was she was supposed to wear blue, and her mother, Sindel, wears purple. But I guess it's fine. I like the maskless look. The hairstyle works really well.
Kitana.
This costume, though, I love a whole lot more. This is reminiscent to classic Katana. I think if they changed the hair to make it look more like MK2 or MK3 or even MK4, again, she was in MK4 if you played MK Gold for the Dreamcast. Same with Baraka, Melina, Cyrax, a couple other people. But yeah, I think that this costume, though, I think is the more stronger of the two. This one screams more Katana to me. This one just looks like it could have been an alternate costume. Sonya Blade. Oh, you know what? These three also had redesigns from Shaolin Monks. Why they didn't... Why... Okay, why Reptile? Mini rant here. Why Reptile was the only one with a costume from Shaolin Monks makes no sense to me, because there were so many really good character outfits in that game. Sonya Blade had a really good one, although I guess that one does kind of look like this one, just she was younger and had a headband. But yeah, Sonya looks good. I like this design for her, and I also really like the more military-esque version of the costume with the medals and stuff. It looks good. I like both of them. All right, so this is Tanya. First appeared in MK4. You'll probably know her more from this variant, which looks very close to her actual outfit in MK4. Her redesign is cool. This is her redesign from MK Deception. They tried to give her a more regal-looking costume. I think it's okay. Looks fine. I actually prefer this one a lot more. I don't know why. Because this one does look a little cluttered. It looks like a bumblebee wasp kind of thing, which I think that's what they were trying to go for. It's fine. Frost. One of my favorite female characters in Mortal Kombat, other than a couple other characters on here. She was from Deadly Alliance. She first appeared in Deadly Alliance. Sorry, I had to think for a second. She was supposed to be like the protege. Well, she was the protege to Sub-Zero, and she was learning her ice powers. Except she thought that she could take over the Lin Kuei better than Sub-Zero, so she tried to do a coup d'etat. But that only... So it's interesting because that was her ending in MK Deadly Alliance. Like, in the game, you're supposed to get the assumption that she's a good character, and then she's not. And I do kind of like that idea. I also like her design. It's very female MK2-esque ninja. And I also like the icicle hair. I think that's just... I love that.
Frost.
And this is her alternate. It's fine. I mean, I like the top part of it and the sash, but I don't get what's going on with the arms. I think if they made this one more like I mean, it's fine. I don't really know how you would have made this one better. I think the top is fine. I think the arms could work, I guess. I think it's just the thigh and to knee area. The boots are fine. I think if they did something like, I don't know. I much prefer this one though. I don't know. I just prefer this one. Sindel, Kitana's mom, Queen of Edenia that was taken over by Shao Kahn. Started out evil and then she became good. This is basically a redesign for Sindel. Looks fine. I like the little gold assets that they put in, although I find it weird that the bottom part and the top part are two different color purples.
Sindel.
This one though, oh, you want to talk about like goth queen looking. This looks great. I actually think this should have been her main costume, to be honest. This is such a better looking costume for Sindel. Looks awesome. Nitara. So Nitara is the vampire in Mortal Kombat. And I really like how they went with like the chopsticks and the hair and the wing. I love the wings. The top actually looks kind of cool where it's the sleeves and the thing, and the shoes look really good. I don't know about the chest area down. I think you could have done something different with the design, but overall, I think Nitara is a cool character that I wish they used more of in Mortal Kombat.
Nitara.
This costume makes me laugh, and I love it. I love the tattoos. I love the glam black metal design of this entire costume. It's dumb and I love it. I just love it. Kira. Okay, Kira came from Deadlands. So she and Cobra were the new initiatives of the Black Dragon. Kira's design looks really cool. I actually really like this design a lot. I think for a new, she, kind of reminds me of Blood Rain a little bit.
Kira.
Especially this costume. I think the hairstyle doesn't work for this costume though. I think the ponytail looked great.
Kira.
And then you bring it here and put her hair down and it looks interesting. I think maybe they could have given her a different hairstyle. But either way, Kira's a cool character, so. Alright, you want to talk about having no other reason why Tremor couldn't be an MK Armageddon? They brought back Serena. Do y'all know who Serena is? Oh, it did the emulated software thing again. Interesting. You know who Serena is? No, of course you don't. Because Serena was from Mortal Kombat Mythologies. And nobody likes mythologies, except for the plot. They actually like the story and stuff like that, but they don't like the gameplay. Serena was one of Quan Chi's minions that if you choose not to kill her as Sub-Zero, she comes back and saves you. And it's actually canon that she supposedly died from Quan Chi. This is her original outfit from the game. And, looks fine. I do like her redesign, though. I like the black and red. I think it stands out more than the pink and black. And just the way that they made certain parts of the outfit looks good. I'm glad they brought back Serena. Again, it harkens back to mythologies, but again, now there's no reason we couldn't put Tremor in the game. I know I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but gosh darn it, they still could have done it. Shiva. You want to talk about really good character redesigns for this era? Shiva looks great. I like this design for Shiva. It's very regal. She's supposed to be a I think around this time she was becoming like, well, I know she was the, all right, I gotta stop and take a breath here. I gotta talk. Okay, there we go. So Shiva is, she was Queen Sindel's personal bodyguard. And she's part of the same race as Goro and Kintaro. They're the Shokan. And I really like Shiva's redesign. I love the mohawk thing. It looks great.
Shiva.
This was a reminiscence of the classic costume from MK3. And honestly, for redesigning a costume into MK Armageddon, it looks decent. Because this is what she originally wore. And, yeah. I think Shiva overall is an awesome character, so. My boy Baraka. I love Baraka. I actually have an autograph from the guy who did the motion capture and voice. I think he also did the voice acting for Kano in the old games. He did Quan Chi. He did Baraka. He did Cabal. I think he also did Cabal. Super awesome. I love it so much. I love Baraka. This is his design from Deception. And as a redesign, it looks good. Looks a lot more like Berserk. It looks fine.
Baraka.
This is supposed to be a redesign of his classic costume from 2 and 3. I think if you took the shoulder pads off, this would have looked a whole lot better.
Baraka.
Honestly, just take the shoulder pads off. This would have been a great MK2 and 3 reference. Should not be in the game. I don't care if people like him as a character. In MK Armageddon, he should not be in the game. Havoc. Okay, fine. I'll talk about why I don't like a Motaro. So Motaro in the original games was a centaur. So he had the body of a horse and the upper half of a human. And he was the mid-boss before Shao Kahn in MK3. My problem, I get why they wanted to bring back everybody, but my problem is bringing back Motaro as a Minotaur completely ruins what made Motaro cool in the first place. He was the only like quadruped character, and they could have just kept him dead. Honestly, they haven't brought him back in any other Mortal Kombat game because I think they realized that making Motaro into a Minotaur really did not work, and it really pissed a lot of people off. I think they could have used the character slot for Tremor, but I think they also could have picked a lot of other characters that they didn't bring back, or they could have even made like Scarlet into a character. They could have made I'm trying to think of all the playable characters in Mortal Kombat games. Hornbuckle, who was a character that was in the background of the pit in one of the games. They could have made him a character. Like, him and Chameleon are the two characters I do not understand why they're in the game. Or, I mean, okay, male Chameleon, again, she should have just been an alternate costume for Chameleon. Problem would have been solved. He would have had both genders as a costume. Fine. Why they decided to make her the exclusive character for the Wii is lazy, and putting Motaro in as a Minotaur makes no sense, and it just irks me the wrong way that they did that. I do like his alternate costume though. His alternate costume is very God of War-esque, and I love it. And you know what? If they didn't make this Motaro, and they made this a completely new character that was from the same race as Motaro, but it wasn't Motaro, I would have been more okay with it. Like, if this was like he was a centaur that was born without 4 legs, and he was ostracized and ridiculed by the centaur, race, and now he's the only one left, and he's like silently like, screw you guys, y'all thought I was lame and now I'm the only one left alive. That would have been a way better interesting character choice than just putting Motaro in and doing that. Havoc. Havoc is from Deception. He is the leader of Chaos Realm. I love his design. I think it looks great.
Havoc.
I also like this design. Although, funny enough, this was originally supposed to be Ermac. Like, no joke, Havoc was originally supposed to be Ermac, and this design at least. And I kind of wish that they kept, and then you can kind of see it, like if you go back to Ermac, you can kind of see it. Like, hang on. Let me do this.
Havoc.
Like, if you look here, the shoulders are the same, Ermac's alternate costume looks the same, right? So yeah, I think Havoc's an awesome character. I'm glad they brought him back. Draman. Draman is a guy without skin. He's a demon from the Netherrealm. He's fine. Don't like him, don't hate him. He's fine. Really don't like his alternate, though. I think his alternate is very weird. Like, I think his alternate's cool, except for that weird shrunken head thing. I think if they just took that out, it would have been a much better looking design. Also, take the flies out. I understand that the flies are a part of his character, but it's so disorienting and it's weird. Moloch. Moloch has no alternate costume, not even like a recolor, which doesn't, like, if you're gonna not give people an alternate costume, at least give them a recolor, right? Moloch. Moloch was the boss character for Deadly Alliance because they wanted to do something more than just like Goro and stuff. He usually has a wrecking ball in his hand, although I guess he doesn't right now. Maybe that's his weapon, maybe. Moloch is fine. I don't like him. I don't hate him. He's just there. That's... Again, they were trying to bring in characters from all the other games, so it made sense. Meat. Meat is... I think in the canon story, Meat is... he was like a rejected experiment from Shang Tsung. And now he's a corpse that just is immortal or something like that. Meat is a hilarious character. He basically was... I think in Mortal Kombat 4... there was a way to play with characters without skin, and they were just bloodied like bones and stuff like that, and that's how they got, and that's where the name Meat came from. And I like how they just made him a full-on character. It makes me laugh, and I love it. Shao Kahn. I like Shao Kahn. I just don't like the cape. It's just kind of like Fujin's alternate. I don't like the cape. I think the cape should have been taken out. This is his redesign from Deception.
Shao Kahn.
See, the cape works because they're going for like evil Batman kind of style look. But again, I don't get the mask. I like classic Shao Kahn more. That's just me. Also, I think his mask is different. You know what? His mask is different than his actual costume. They went with classic MK. Like, oh my god, I just realized this. His mask is totally like, okay, look at this, no joke. Look at the character portrait. That's classic Shao Kahn. Now look at the Shao Kahn that we got in the game. That is false advertising. Wow. That's hecka false advertising. I would have loved to have seen a classic Shao Kahn, not... Man, it's lame. Just realized that. Alright, this is Goro. So funny enough, I also... Actually, you know what? I think Shao Kahn and Goro's renders are from Shaolin monks. Yet they didn't use it for Shao Kahn. Wow. So this is yet another character that could have been in the Shaolin monks version. Jeez. This is Goro. Standard Goro. His design doesn't really change much. I love it.
Goro.
This is his alternate costume. It's very Shokan Warrior-esque stuff. Looks good. It's very different than the original. That's what matters. Kintaro, the cat Shokan. I love Kintaro. It's weird though that they made his face more cat-like, but I guess it makes sense. I love his redesign. He's only got the one spike shoulder thing. He's got the top, the braid. I love his outfit. It looks good. And then this, like, even the knee pads and the chest look different. And I also like how for Kintaro they rolled Kintaro. They roll the L a little bit. Kintaro. I can't do it right now. This is supposed to be classic Kintaro. Still looks pretty good, actually. Very, very much like Shiva. It still looks very good. Well done. Onaga doesn't have an alternate costume, but this is what he looks like. He was the villain in Deception. He's just a big old dragon dude. It's cool they added him in. And last but certainly not least. Wow, this video has been an hour. I just realized, almost an hour. I am tired. Wow, I had a lot to say about these characters. This is Blaze. He's the final boss. Very interesting looking character. I think he was the base for Dark Khan in MK versus DC, which if I ever get to that game, I will talk about the roster as well. Yeah, Blaze is fine. He's just a big old giant flaming dude. And originally Blaze was in the background fighting Hornbuckle in one of the older games. And then he also appeared in Deadly Alliance as his own character. He was also in Deception. If you had the PSP version, you actually got Blaze, Goro, Shao Kahn, Frost, Jax. Was there one more character? I don't think so. I'm looking at the characters. I think those were the characters. Oh, and was Cyrax in? No. So it was just Jax, Frost, and they brought in Human Blaze. And then the GameCube version of Deception already had Goro and Shao Kahn. So anyway, yeah, that's the Mortal Kombat Armageddon roster. That's a lot of characters. There's, how many characters were there? 1, 2, 3, 4 by... So that's 40... Wait a minute. Dang it, I lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4 by 10. So that's 40. And then 1, 2, 6. So 64 characters, I think? I think my math is correct. That's a lot of characters in this game. This is basically the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 of Mortal Kombat. And you know, it really does make you realize how many characters were prominent in this game, and how many there were so many more that they didn't add in, like Tremor. Yeah, thank you all so much for joining me today looking at this roster. I had a lot of fun looking at this game again. I will be doing story mode, and I will be doing other things with this game. I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of what another mode called Motor Combat looks like, which is basically like a Mario Kart. And yeah, we'll do story mode. We'll do an arcade mode run. Yeah, overall, I think the roster's, I mean, this is old school Mortal Kombat's roster. Say what you will about how you feel about the 3D Tekken style fighting for Mortal Kombat. They had a really big roster and characters that were redesigned from the ground up, like Rain and Serena and Jarek and Kai and Reiko and Fujin, and it was and Shinnok, and it was cool to see these characters come back. And Shiva, who else was from the old games that did, like, yeah. So I just think that's really cool. And Kintaro. So anyway, again, thank you all for joining me today. If you like the video, please like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that little bell icon, all that sweet stuff, because YouTube's algorithm is strange. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. You all take care and have a great one.